Boom, 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 boom.
Let's make this a little bit bigger because we're seeing too much of the potatoes, not enough of the meat, if you know what I'm saying.
Are you saying us or are you saying the background? I kind of like the way the background is.
No, I just mean like oh, what's that? You can see before I modified it, you could see all the zoom shit on the bottom. You know, too much potatoes, not enough meat. As the saying goes that I just made up.
What?
Uh,
Okay.
boy, oh boy. And hi.
Hey, what's up?
What you got there? Coffee?
Yeah, yeah. It's iced coffee.
Nice, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Is it
yeah.
flavored at all?
No.
Hmm.
I mean, it's coffee flavored, so it's flavored
Mm.
with like the beans of the coffee bean.
Sounds
So
delicious.
it's bean flavored.
Oh, like baked beans?
No, no, just like the coffee kind.
Pinto.
No, 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 that's a car.
Garbanzo.
No, no, no,
Oh,
no, no, no. It's also got the milk of a cow.
oh, delicious.
Yeah, so this comes from a variety of farms. It was shipped probably around the world, and now I'm drinking it.
Mm. Uh, See, when I buy eggs, this is semi-related. Uh, you have to do the thing where you take the old thing of eggs and put it on top of the new ones, so you don't use the old or the new eggs right away.
Right.
And that did not happen last time I bought eggs.
Oh, and so
So
there was like a mostly empty carton.
no, it was full of old eggs. So I had to figure out how to test if they were good or not.
Oh, it's if they float.
Yeah, no, if they float, they're bad.
Yeah.
So they're okay, but I don't like it.
I think I mean, here's the thing, like eggs, if they're like farm fresh and they haven't been industrially washed, they don't
Yeah,
need to be stored in a refrigerator.
right.
But that's not how we get any of our eggs in America for the most part, like unless you have neighbors who are chicken farmers.
And I
So
don't fully understand why that is the case.
if
Why
you
would
live near What the Cluck Farms,
um,
you can just you can get them fresh from the
uh,
Cluckers.
why are cleans that have been washed, why do they need to be refrigerated? Because they're older? I don't know. I don't get it.
No, it's because there's a semi-permeable membrane that is sort of like washed away. So there's a natural protection around the egg, but also like an egg is just laid in like the filthy ground with chicken shit around it.
Right.
So you don't like the consumer doesn't want to have filthy eggs in a carton. They want to have clean eggs in a carton.
Yeah, I do.
And so you've made the eggs more vulnerable and will like go bad more easily also as a result. So they have to be stored in the fridge. They won't go bad that quickly though, like
No, they last forever, but
not forever, but for a
no,
while.
no, it's forever, Josh. I mean, they come out of a cloaca. I'm not washing that. That's disgusting.
uh, what?
A cloaca.
I don't know. Maybe I should take a biology class.
Maybe you should, Josh.
What is the cloaca?
It's the hole that everything comes out of.
Okay. So you're saying
Everything. It's like if human women shat their babies out of their assholes. That's a cloaca.
oh, now I'm confused. I thought I understood, but now I'm more confused.
Everything is connected to one hole. So digestion and reproduction all goes out one hole.
You're saying for a chicken, not
Yes.
for a human being.
No, I was giving a bad example.
Okay, thanks. Okay. All right.
Did you think I was bad at biology all of a sudden?
Uh, uh no, not necessarily. Just were explaining it in a way that I wasn't getting it, which doesn't mean that you were explaining it badly, but at the very least, I was not understanding it. Hey, let's clap it in.
Yeah. Oh,
Woo!
on fire.
What's up, guys? It's On Fire Tonight with Josh and Teresa. We are here to talk about Man in the High Castle, Season 1, Episode 3, The Illustrated Woman. If you haven't seen it yet, this is your one and only opportunity to pause before
Oh,
we
don't miss
spoil the
it.
whole thing.
Yep.
All right, great. You're back. Let's talk
Hey,
about it.
welcome.
Teresa, we just watched this episode.
That's true.
What do you think?
Yep, it's good.
There's a lot of shit going on.
So much shit going on. You got that side of the country, you got that side of the country, you got the middle side of the country, and then all this crazy shit is happening on everywhere.
Right? Fucking
Yeah.
A. Yeah.
So that's been On Fire Tonight.
Thanks for joining us. Okay, so just to catch everyone up, it's 1962. The US lost World War II. They've been invaded on both sides by Germany and Japan, and there's a strip in the middle.
The neutral zone.
The neutral zone, where there's no real formal law, but it's like the Wild West, and time is kind of like stood still in some ways there. Anyway, it looks it looks like a very it looks like an undeveloped nation.
Yeah. Like at one point it was, and then something bad happened, and now it's not.
Okay, so
You're welcome.
starting off this episode, we pick up where we left off.
Yes.
Joe and Juliana are at the boarding house. It's the night that like she Aikido'd the origami man off the bridge. She's in shock.
Great sentence. Yeah, Joe wraps a blanket around her and he's like, here, drink
some whiskey. I killed a man once.
Cool. Let's have that conversation right now.
Well, so like he tells her sort of a fake version of the real story, right? Like we saw when he killed a man when he left New York with that truck.
I just assumed that was one of many people he's killed in his lifetime because he's a good shot. I mean, you can do that without having killed people before, but he was a really good shot.
I don't know. I mean, maybe. Well, based on what little we know about him, and he reveals secrets as we go along.
I have a theory. Anyway, so she's like, how do you live with it? And he's like, hey, you just gotta.
Right. And she's like, so you read that letter I told you not to read?
Yeah, because he calls her Juliana. And he was like, oh, I was just so worried about you.
Like, and he points out quite rightly that if her sister had been there, she would have walked into that same trap and not been prepared in any way for it. Right? Like,
right, because she doesn't know any martial arts.
That we
because Juliana wasn't prepared at all either, except for that one detail.
And anyway, he's like, so
we gotta go.
That dude, like somebody's gonna come looking for him, and we should not be here when they do. We
got to get out. And she's like, no, it's cool. I'm gonna go to work.
So we cut to San Francisco. Frank wraps himself in a blanket back at his house. He, like a lot of people, are just in shock as this episode begins. Sure. His sister and her kids have been gassed to death while he's held by the Kempeitai in the police station. The Kempeitai is like the name of the police force, if I understand correctly. Yes, I think you do. Juliana is bummed that she dropped that drawing. She's like, fuck, man. Frank drew this awesome picture of me. I look so good.
He looks exactly like me. If anyone finds it, they'll know exactly who it belongs to.
Right. Like it's not like a boardwalk caricature.
Right. She doesn't have a surfboard in her hands or anything.
Yeah, she's not spray painting. Spray painting a giant penis and balls on the wall.
Like usual. But
Joe is like, let's get the fuck up out of here. And she's like, listen, if we leave like that, that's suspicious. We should leave separately so that it's clear that we leave separately. We're not connected. You can drive out of town. I'll go to work and then I'll leave later.
fine.
Whatever,
We'll do
man.
that.
Yeah, I guess. Seems like we should be making tracks, but if you say so.
Then we go to New York and Ed is like standing
San
over Frank.
Francisco.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. And he really wants Frank to go to work.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, hey, your door was open and this letter was here on the doorstep. So Frank does not go to work. Instead, he has to go identify the bodies of his sister and her kids. And they're just on rough shipping pallets with
Yeah.
like some canvas sack.
Some burlap.
Yeah.
A potato sack covering them. And they couldn't do this the night before when he was there and didn't have to relive it the next day, but whatever, fine.
Yeah, right. Hilariously, Inspector Keto is like, I'm not a monster. You've suffered enough. Oh, by the way, swing back around. Like these bodies are not like even in sort of like the morgue, like refrigeration or anything. They're just in like an alley, like not an alleyway. They're like in a
long hallway. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Like we don't have room for anywhere real to put them. We're gonna put them in the hallway of this office building on fucking pallets. So is that them? Okay, cool. We're gonna cremate them in 7 to 10 days. We'll let you know.
Right. They are enemies of the state. So you've lost all rights to burial.
Rude.
Yeah. And Frank, he weeps.
The way you said that. Yeah, we get it. It was his sister, Josh.
Wow. You're so heartless, Tressa.
Okay, let me ask you a question because I'm not totally familiar.
Yeah.
Is in the Jewish faith, is cremation a bad thing?
It's abnormal, but it's not like, first of all, there's like a lot of different takes on Judaism, and I am not an expert, but it is my understanding that if you're being like strict about it, cremation is not the way. I have known Jews who wanted to be cremated. And so if you asked someone that was more Orthodox, they would be like, oh, tut, 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 or something.
Right.
But you know, whatever, like they can go fuck themselves.
You heard it here. Josh says all the Orthodox people can go fuck themselves.
No, it's more that anyone saying tut, tut, tut.
Oh, okay. All right.
Unless, of course, you're the great Steve Martin, you're singing King Tut, a #1 hit single.
There you go.
That guy, he never has to go fuck himself. Yeah, that motherfucker charted.
That's crazy.
He toured with the Blues Brothers opening for him.
With one song?
I guess so. Well,
I mean, I'm sure he had other.
He was also like the biggest stand-up comedian in the world in a time when like nothing like that had ever been seen.
Right. And also the King Tut exhibit was touring all over the country as well.
Right.
So everyone was like, we got to see Steve Martin and complete the whole book. So.
Yeah, it's the final piece in the puzzle.
They get a film anyway. Yeah, I'm not familiar with anybody's burial practices, including my own, because I think it's all kind of dumb.
Well,
anyway.
According to the song King Tut, he was buried with a donkey. Also,
and everyone knows songs are accurate.
He's my favorite honky.
Yep. So Ed's
He
waiting
was
for.
born in Arizona, moved to Babylonia, got a condo made of Stona. King Tut.
I don't think that's true.
He took some liberties. He had some creative license.
Yeah, he did. So Ed's waiting for Frank outside of this warehouse where they
Right.
keep bodies.
Maybe it's the police station and like the back entrance or something. I don't know.
It looked like an abandoned warehouse. It looked rough.
Yeah, most things at this time are just abandoned warehouses.
Mhm. Yeah. And he's like, what was that about?
And Frank is like, it's better if you don't ask.
Yeah,
And explains nothing.
no. But he was there when Frank found out that his sister was dead. But
Yeah, but he read it in a letter. He might not have even said.
no, I mean the day
What it
before,
is.
the night before.
Oh, fuck, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait. Well, is it possible that the conversation as he witnessed it, he might not have
It was
been
too
able to draw that
vague.
conclusion? Yeah, he might not have known that that meant that they were dead.
That's true.
It's possible.
Yeah. Anyway. So
So like they're walking and they see just TVs in shop windows showing the crown prince and princess arriving by ocean liner in the port of San Francisco.
fuck those guys.
Yeah. And Frank is not going to go to work.
Come on, you gotta go to work.
No, I'm not. No, thanks.
Come on. It's so fun at work. It's so
It's
boring
like,
without
I
you.
guess I'll have to go tell him that you're shitting up blood.
Again.
Can't make it to the phone even.
Yep. Back in New York at the SS headquarters.
In New York City.
What's that guy's name? Is it John Smith?
It's Obergruppenführer John Smith. I'll have you know.
Obergruppenführer?
Yeah. Jawohl.
What does Obergruppen mean?
I guess when you're
Over
like
the group.
when you're grouping over.
Over there. So let's see, what's he doing? He's looking at crime photos of I guess probably the alley where he was ambushed.
Yeah, he's examining the like photos of the dead bodies that he created when they tried to kill him.
That's right.
And Joe calls in and he's like, yeah, that origami dude seems to have left town.
Don't know where he went. It's weird.
Yeah, I guess he's gone. John Smith is like, well, whatever. You should leave too.
And you should come back here because we need to do a full debriefing. If you know what I'm saying, Joe.
You want me to take my briefs off?
That's correct.
I can do that for sure. Obergruppenführer.
But wait till you're here. I want them to be ripe. Hmm?
I want them to be ripe. Okay, so yeah, so Joe is like, did I do something wrong? And he's like,
oh, honey, no.
He's like, perhaps not.
Man, he knows how to put the
right.
Woo!
Like, yeah, definitely don't get comfortable.
Everything you say makes me think I'm gonna die soon.
He's like, anyway, I'll see you soon. Heil Hitler.
Yep, Heil Hitler. See ya.
And then we see Juliana calling Frank. There's a lot of phone calls.
Yeah, it's a phone call heavy episode.
Yeah.
Frank answers finally, and she's like, "Oh my God, I miss you. I've been trying to contact you." And there's a little weird clicking sounds on the phones.
It's very clear that it's being bugged.
Yeah. Frank's like, "Oh, okay, that's what's happening. Hey, how was your camping trip?" Fine.
Yeah, and so there's no phone by the campsite, and that's why you had such trouble getting me, I guess.
Yeah.
She's like, I miss you, and he's like, I have to go.
Okay, bye.
And then hangs up as she's trying to say that she loves him.
Yeah, because fuck that bitch.
Well, everybody's got their own
traumas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
back in the neutral zone.
That's right. Joe pulls up to a gas station.
Right as a new shiny car drives up.
Oh, who's this new guy in town? Well, I'll tell you, it's the marshal, or so he likes to be called. He's like, Joe, I mean, I don't know your name. Who are you?
He's like, who the fuck are you? He's like, I'm nobody. Let me see your papers. And Joe is extra blasé. And then the guy just whips out a shotgun.
I mean, it's the neutral zone.
This guy is not into conversation. He's
I
just
get
like,
it.
I do what I do. I take what I take.
He thinks highly of himself as well. Who is that actor? What do I know him from?
Probably Torchwood.
Nope, never seen it. Oh, Torchwood. Yes.
How did you never see Torchwood?
Yes. No, you are correct. I was thinking the other Wood show.
He's been in lots of things, but like that is kind of like where he had the biggest run, I think, that I'm aware of.
Oh, that's definitely where I would know him from.
But he's also like, he's in a lot of stuff in like just an episode here and there.
I believe you.
Okay.
Fine. Yeah, because I was like, he's British. I know who's British. I know he's got an accent that I'm not hearing.
Dude, so is Rufus Sewell, who plays Obergruppenführer John Smith.
Oh,
yeah, right? That guy's good.
Oh, yeah.
He's so fucking good.
He's terrifying.
But aren't you kind of rooting for him?
No.
Interesting. I find him such a, like, maybe it's because I find him a charismatic actor, but
you heard it here, folks. Josh is rooting for the Nazis.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that he is fascinating.
He is fascinating and terrifying.
He is terrifying.
100%.
But I feel like I could fix him.
You know, you'll never know till you try, Josh.
Oh, that darkness.
All right, so
the marshal's aiming a shotgun at Joe, and
he gets his papers.
And then he's like,
like, oh, it's this kind of conversation. Hold up real quick. Let me do this. And he's like, all right, I'm gonna go over here and get away from you. And he hears the marshal talking about, hey, you know this origami dude? And the gas station guy is like, I don't remember what he says, but
he's like, oh, yeah, I think he went to the bookstore.
Oh, that's right.
Like, I saw him around.
Yeah. And Joe's like, oh, I'm going to go get some coffee. You guys need anything? I'm going to go get coffee. And he's like, bitch. He goes,
right. He goes into the diner, tries to maintain his cool.
He's like, speed walking to the diner. We gotta go. And she's like, no, it's cool. You just be cool, and you're supposed to leave. But we go to the bookstore.
Well, the diner owner sees Joe come in, get coffee, leave, and their exchange in some fashion.
Oh,
and
right.
He's like, you should be careful who you make friends with out here.
Oh, and then she says, okay, because I had to remember what she said. She's like, she said something about him, the diner owner, and he's like, we're not friends.
Did she?
Yeah.
Wait, what did she say?
Something like, I trust you, or I don't know. She was making it sound like she thought he was talking about himself, the diner owner.
Oh my God, I just like missed that aspect of the conversation.
Yeah, because the diner owner was like, we're not friends, you and me. I don't know you. Or maybe he was talking about Joe. I don't know. The diner owner's response was basically, I'm not involved with this. Fuck you guys. I don't know. So we go to the bookstore.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah. The marshal walks in. He's like, these old books stink of their owners. Cigarettes and piss and blah, blah, blah. Like, this guy By the way, he is clean shaven. His shirt is clean. His car is sparkling clean.
He's got one of them trench coats to go all the way to the ground because he's a marshal.
It's a duster.
Oh, that's a good name for it.
That's definitely a duster. Have you ever dusted?
Nope. Have you been in my house? No, thank you.
So he's like, listen, I'm looking for a friend of mine. And the bookstore guy is like, oh yeah, I saw him. I sold him a Bible.
You did what now?
Yeah, you've been selling Bibles. Did he send anyone else in to buy a Bible? And the bookstore guy is like slowly putting it together. He's like, yep. There's a girl.
Maybe
20s, brown hair, pretty. And the marshal's like, you got more Bibles?
Like, six or seven. I'm gonna burn them right now, though. Like I was just about to burn them.
Yeah, you should definitely do that. And then he pulls the old Columbo on him.
Just one more thing. Carl, that's your name, right? Mm-hmm.
He has a stack of playing cards and he shuffles them.
Where'd he get those made?
Great question. They're not just regular playing cards. Each card has the name, face, and like a little info about escaped concentration camp prisoners. Concentration camp prisoners from the United States.
I did not see that or realize that's who they are.
Yes.
But Carl's real name was David Pease Freely. Not really, but it was David P. Freely. And come on, really?
It was P. Freeze.
It was Freely.
It wasn't Freely.
No, right. You're fine. You're right.
Ace P's Freely, but
really, guys, you're gonna put the initial P next to the beginning of the word free and not expect me to say something about that?
I gotta say, it is questionable.
Come on. So he's like, what? I don't know who that is. That's not me. And he's like, well, here's the thing. I'm gonna kill you, but I'm gonna need something first.
And then he takes out these fucking snippers.
Some garden shears. They were clean as hell, too.
Yeah. Everything about him is like fastidiously clean.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying, this guy sucks.
Because he's clean?
Because he comes in to a used bookstore talking about the stink of former owners. Like, this guy has problems.
He's got, okay.
You know what I mean?
I do. Yep.
Yeah. We cut to Pan Pacific Park over in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
We got Tagomi and the high-ranking Germans from the embassy. They're part of the party to welcome the crown prince and princess.
They're all like lined up doing that thing at like, never mind. They're all lined up to greet the prince and the princess and their people. And they go and walk to a memorial, I believe. And they say a little prayer or something.
Yeah.
Get back in the car. And the princess is like, yo, you okay? He's like, nah, this is all bullshit. This is all fucking fake. And I hate it. We're fake.
That's exactly how they said it too.
Yeah. Yo, this is some bullshit.
The subtitles were like, it wasn't just yo, it was like, imagine these people are wearing Timberlands.
Yeah. And the Nazis are scary and I don't like it. And then we go to their cocktail party to greet them.
Well, but wait, he's like, listen, our technology is like vastly behind Germany's. They have a strong control over their colonies and we don't. We're an island nation. I think we are puppets and figureheads and barely hanging on by a string.
Thank you for elaborating on that.
Right? I mean, isn't that like sort of what he's getting at?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's weird. I was going to be like, well, yeah, they're just one tiny island. and the Nazis are blah blah blah, but Germany is pretty fucking tiny too. But
It's
now they have
true,
all
but
this
like when
fucking
you have
land.
all this land around you that
Right.
you've taken over, and all of that is now Germany as well,
Right.
like it's unclear. They haven't said anything about Russia, right? Like,
Have they said anything about anything not in North America?
I mean, we heard little like radio and TV news
Mm,
blips about stuff going on elsewhere in the world, but not everything, not a full picture.
right. Yeah, so I don't know.
All right, so Tagomi has a seemingly casual conversation with that
Mr.
Ger-
Green.
German conspiracy guy,
Yeah.
his co-conspirator dude that's like
Hmm.
pretending to be a Swiss somebody, but he's actually
Hmm.
a German somebody.
Yeah.
The
I still
German
am
guy is like,
fully
yeah,
I'm fully lost in this whole situation. I don't know if I'm confused with what they're conspiring to do. I'm confused what how they're going to do. Tell me what's
yeah.
going on,
I
Josh.
look, I don't know either. Like, we
Okay.
know that they have a conspiracy
Right.
that neither of their nations would approve of, and they would be like held as traitors if it were known about. So whatever it is something that goes against Germany and Japan officially. What the German guy talked about in the previous episode was trying to stave off chaos when uh, Hitler's eventual successor
Right.
takes power. So that's some aspect of this, whether it's like a back channel way to create greater strengths between the two countries, or some way for one nation to overpower the other. I don't know.
I don't know either. It's confusing.
It's confusing, but like
I just want them to be part of the resistance.
maybe they are. You know what I mean? Like the
Yeah.
resistance
Who
isn't a
knows?
monolith, so they could be members of an aspect of the resistance that has nothing to do with all those other resistance fighters
Right.
in their own ways. Or they could be even worse. Like they could be like further to the right trying to make shit, you know, like draw your own conclusions.
I will. Thank you.
Okay, so the German dude still wants to have his meeting, and he needs the name of the contact that the trade minister is supposed to give him. And he's like, it's that guy over there. It's the science minister. Okay, so how much does he know? Nothing.
Nothing.
He doesn't know shit yet.
How why doesn't he know anything yet? I'm on a short trip here. I've got shit to do.
Yeah, but everything is so tenuous. Tagomi is aware that there are like spies everywhere. Like they should all know that there are spies everywhere
Oh
and
yeah.
infiltrators everywhere.
Mhm.
And anyone at any point could sell out your real conspiracy or sell you out
For no
based on
reason whatsoever.
lies. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, listen, we're just going to wait until the very last moment. The only time that we'll have like the proper cover is when the prince makes his big public speech.
Which also is confusing to me. Does that mean you're going to try and kill somebody during the speech?
I don't know. I thought that that was like the only time when like there'll be so much attention looking at the prince
That
that
they can
people
go.
behind the scenes can do other stuff. I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know. Good question.
Thank
Do they want
you.
to kill the prince?
I
If
don't
they
know.
wanted to kill the prince, they're like face to face with him right now.
Yeah, but they're also surrounded by tons of people.
Right. But like they're in a park and it's like a peaceful moment.
The perfect death.
I mean, it kind of is. Like if your goal is to kill the prince,
Uh-huh.
that's, do you want it? Do you need for it to be on TV? Are you trying to get away with it so that you aren't found out?
I mean, if that's the case, you don't want to do it in the park in front of everybody.
Right, but
If
like
you
if you're
just
gonna
want
die for
everyone
your
to know,
cause,
right, because you're going to probably.
maybe.
Anyway,
Very
back.
few people want to die for their cause.
No, fuck that. My cause sucks.
I'd rather live for my cause. Is that an option?
Because no, thank you.
So Frank makes a very difficult trip to his brother-in-law's home, who has just this moment returned from a trip to Tokyo. He's tired. He's glad to be home.
Can't wait to see his favorite people in the whole world, his wife and children. He's so excited to see them. Can't wait to walk through that door, Frank. Get out of my way. I'm going to go and give my wife a kiss on the cheek and hug my children.
They're gone.
Okay, did they go to the store or are they at school?
No, they're
What's
not
going
coming
on?
back.
I don't know what that means, Frank.
The Kempetai killed them
Uh,
because
yeah.
our grandfather was a Jew.
Oh, so that means you are too. Why are you alive and my wife and children are not, Frank?
I don't know.
God damn it, Frank.
Yeah. He's like, just get away from me.
Yeah.
And
Fair.
like, what are you going to do? Fair enough.
Yeah. I mean,
How fucking horrible.
he at least had the decency to tell him in person instead of him finding out some horrible other way. But still, you cannot
Right?
expect him to be like, oh,
Oh,
that's too bad that you're not dead too.
would you be brave enough to make that trip?
Nope. I
Right?
can barely fucking make a phone call to someone. Nope,
Right.
absolutely not.
Jesus Christ. What?
Fuck that.
What brave? That's the bravest thing we've seen.
For sure. Die for your cause. Fuck that. Go talk to somebody.
Right?
Mm,
Break some bad news that
all
you
right.
might be responsible for.
I'm saying,
You're at least like your name's attached, whether or not you're responsible.
yep.
All right, so in the neutral zone, the marshal has this crafting project.
Yep. He's using pulleys and rope.
Yeah, he hangs the bookstore owner right in the middle of town, right at the crossroads of Cannon City. And he has chopped off one of his fingers and kept it in a vial that he's labeled David P. Freeze, not David
Lee.
Pease Freely.
And he puts it in a briefcase full of other fingers. Bro, that might be a mental problem that you need to keep those things.
Well, so the gas station owner guy was like, he calls himself the marshal, but he's just a fucking bounty hunter, which sort of raises the question, is there a difference?
Oh, good point.
You know, like, are there marshals? If you're just a self-appointed marshal, like maybe the only marshals there are self-appointed.
Right, especially in the neutral zone.
Right. So this guy, this bounty hunter, gross. Ugh. Anyway, so it's the wild, wild west.
Yeah.
As
And he gets out of, because he had to pull this dude up on the rope on the light post with his car, tied it up to his car. So he pulls up and he's like, yo, everybody. And
that's what he calls them. He's like ding-a-ling-a-ling. He's got a triangle.
Yeah. It's not dinner time this time. This time I'm here to tell you, do not cut this man down until he is picked clean by birds.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we want in our town. Thank you.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Back in New York City,
Uh-huh.
there's an LSD interrogation
They're having fun.
of that one resistance guy that didn't get killed. And the dude is tripping his balls off.
Fucking tripping balls, bro.
John Smith tries to interrogate him and he's like, you're an angel. You have a halo.
Have they done this successfully before? I can't imagine.
This guy tries to kill me and we reward him with an oceanic experience. Just get him out of this. We can't. It goes on for hours.
Well, let me know when he's out of it and get me a vial of that stuff.
We cut back to the neutral zone. And once again, we hear Billie Holiday. This time it's summertime.
Yep.
Joe and Juliana are they've waded down to the river and they are weighting down the body of the
Nice.
origami guy.
Yeah, they got to get his keys too because his car's still up there.
Oh, right. Yeah. So they get his keys and they hide him in the river.
Yeah, because he was just sitting there on the rocks, all broken and fucked up.
Yeah.
At the bottom.
You know, wild animals would like make quick enough work of that guy. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
I mean, it's only been a few hours, so.
Right. So back in San Francisco, Frank goes to a bar. He sits down, he gets a drink. There's more stuff on the TV in the bar about the crown prince and princess's visit.
He's had a rough couple days. He just wants a drink.
A woman approaches him.
Hello.
And he tells her, kick rocks.
She's like, I get it. You've had a rough couple days, like that one lady that's talking right now just said. He's like, wait, what?
Right. She's not just trying to pick him up.
No.
She's a member of the resistance. She wants to know what he knows. And he's like, go fuck yourself.
Like 5 times. She's
For
like,
real.
cool. But what did Randall say?
And he's like, Randall's dead, you dummy.
Because he didn't say anything. Now, please, a GTFO. And she's like, no, it's cool. We've all lost stuff. We've all lost people. Yeah, I just fucking lost people like a few hours ago. Can you leave me the fuck alone right now?
And she's like, the pawns killed them. So that is a slur on the Japanese.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So like, you know, Japan, instead of saying the Japs, Nippon, they are the pawns.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought it was a chess reference.
No. So PON.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's, I mean, that is what I understand it to mean.
Yeah, I'm sure. I had no idea though. But he's, rightly so, he's pissed. And he's like, why aren't you guys killing these guys if you're so against them?
Yeah. And he's also like, why aren't you fucking off already? Like, how many times do I have to tell you?
Right. Yeah, but she don't care. And she's like, well, if we make them weak, then the Nazis will take over them and we'll be even more fucked. So we just gotta wait this thing out. We're doing this strategically.
He's like, your plan is to watch old movies? She's like, those films are more important than you know.
Fuck your films. Go kill some guys.
Well, everybody's got their own avenue, right?
Yeah.
So we see a meeting back at the German embassy. The crown prince and princess, as well as Tagomi, the trade minister, are there. The Germans are requesting the prince cancel his public appearance.
And he's like, yeah, but why?
And they're like, because we have intel that they're like resistance fighters and they are coming after you. And
I got security. Who fucking gives a shit?
Right. He's like, I've got, my army guys, I've got the Kempetai. Like, thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm good. Deuces.
Peace.
And then, as they leave, the princess has a friendly exchange with Tagomi. They clearly know each other.
Got the hots for him for sure. They're fucking.
It didn't seem like that at all. That was not
Josh,
the vibe.
They fucking.
I don't think that's the case.
Josh, they fucking.
No, I really don't think.
They
No.
fucking, yep. I know that face.
She
They
was like, it's nice
fucking,
to see you. Maybe you could
uh-huh,
pay us a private
exactly.
visit.
That's
Oh,
what I'm saying.
so you think that Tagomi is part of the Prince and Princess's polycule? Is that how
No,
you
but I
pronounce
like,
it? Is that
yeah,
how
I
you
think
pronounce the
so.
word? Polycule?
Polycule. Uh-huh, yeah. I didn't till you said that, but now I do.
Well, maybe, maybe.
No maybes about it.
So after the Royals roll out, Tagomi is like, hey, Keto, what do you know about all this resistance stuff? And Keto's like, that's none of your fucking business.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, a lot of people are telling each other to go fuck themselves.
For sure. Back at SS headquarters, John Smith gets word that that one guy stopped tripping and he's got intel.
Right. And then we cut to the neutral zone. The marshal is questioning the diner owner.
Yeah, I don't remember what happened there.
Like, they just have a very quick conversation that we don't hear. He walks outside, and then a kid in the street is like,
Oh,
hey,
right.
you're looking for that origami guy? I saw him. I can tell you for a couple of marks.
Or you could
And
just tell me.
yeah, and the marshal is not someone who pays for information.
No.
He uses violence for everything.
Uh-huh. I don't know why anyone would be like, yeah, maybe you could pay me after I saw you string that guy up.
Right. Like,
What are you thinking, bro?
yeah, so
Nichols.
he tells him, I saw him drive off last night, and that's all I know.
Great.
Good
Thanks.
work. So then we see Joe and Juliana, they're ditching Origami Guy's car, and when she gets out, she finds his Bible, which has in it a
A
map.
map.
And the map has marked on it a copper mine. What?
Oh, I like metals.
Right?
And she's like, Joe, let's go here.
Shiny buttons.
He's like, can we just leave? Can we just not be here?
She's like, this can't be too far away. He's like, yeah, I mean, I've never been here myself, but that's only a few miles from here.
He can read a map, Josh. It's fine.
Better than I can, obviously.
Obviously.
So
And he's like, well, no. And she's like, but yeah. So they go. Anyway.
So back in New York City, John Smith calls another Nazi guy named Connolly into the interrogation room. Connolly was named as a conspirator.
Oh,
And he totally denies it.
yeah.
And
Why
they
would
put
you?
a gun to his head.
Man, they pulled it out and I thought they were going to shoot him right there, but no, they just
And he's like, what do you have? You just have the word of the Semite. No, 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 no.
click.
Click. Nothing.
Ah, we got you, bro.
And then he just jumps up and beats the shit out of that guy.
Yeah, with a wink and a nod from John Smith, like, go ahead, buddy, you've earned it.
Right? Like, have at it. And then I don't fully get their conversation because, well, anyway.
No, what? What were you gonna say?
No, anyway, yeah. So
okay.
Yeah. So Frank and his brother-in-law have another quick conversation.
Yeah, because he
the
goes to visit
brother-in-law drops
Frank.
by Frank's apartment. He's like, I talked to the Kempetai.
And turns out totally you and your girlfriend's fault.
And like her sister too. What the fuck?
Mm.
And he's like, they tortured me. The Kempetai did this. And the brother-in-law is like, this is their country. He's like, yeah, I know that.
Giving up like that.
And then the brother-in-law is like, you said you wanted to have kids someday.
Oh, I hope you do.
And I hope they're taken away from you just like this.
Only worse. I don't think he said that, but He was thinking it.
Yeah, that's the curse to wish upon someone.
Oh, for sure. Back in the neutral zone, the marshal has found the lost drawing of Julie that looks exactly like her. And if you saw this drawing, you'd be like, I know exactly who that is because it is exactly the same exact. It's like a photo of this woman. What I'm saying is, I call bullshit. It's just a drawing of a lady. It doesn't look specifically like her.
You don't have the artist's eye, clearly.
And the art and the marshal does. Come on.
He's not just a marshal and a bounty hunter. He's also
a clean guy
critic. He's very, very clean. He's extremely clean. So Joe and Juliana drive to like near where the mine must be.
Mm-hmm.
And like they have to hike through the woods.
Right, because they got to get to a mine. And Joe's like, okay, but I got to tell you that I lied to you too. I never met my dad. And I have theories.
Yeah. She's like, listen, what if you could change just one thing? And what if it could what if that one thing could change like everything? You know, these films, they show a world that might be. And her dad died in the war, and she wishes she could just change that one thing. And that makes him, that like touches his heart.
Mm-hmm.
They're brought together by circumstances, and they're both emotional, and he confesses that he's never met his father, that he lives far away, that he's never had any interest or had anything to do with him.
He's Adolf Hitler.
He doesn't say that.
We're all thinking it.
And so he says, maybe if he had met her sooner, his life would be different. She's like, well, you met me now, and so maybe it will be.
Mm-hmm.
And then her boyfriend, Frank, shows up on the factory floor.
And Ed is so fucking happy.
Well, he's
so
concerned.
He is so happy.
But he's concerned more than he's happy.
He is thrilled.
Because he's like, hey, buddy, what are you doing here? He's like, because he's been telling the manager guy,
you're sick.
Yeah, stories about how sick Frank is to cover for him. I mean, yeah.
He was thrilled, though. He was like, oh, you're here. Fuck yeah. Let's go get a martini lunch. Or whatever they did back then.
Yeah.
And smoking suits.
Just, yeah, they smoke suits, drink martinis.
Back in the neutral zone, Joe has found the entrance to the mine. Yeah. They start exploring.
And they discover a rotting corpse chained to the wall. And right next to it is a list of names.
Cool. Who's
most of which have been crossed out. There
Except
are two
for
at the bottom.
Who are the last two?
Trudy and Lemel Washington. Lemel Washington.
Oh, that's my boss at the diner.
Yeah, Juliana's question mark friend.
Yup.
Meanwhile, at the diner.
Oh no.
The marshal says he wants meat.
So gross.
That is what he says.
So gross.
Right?
You know what? Maybe he was just hitting on him.
They're like, be cool, my man. Like,
you didn't have to be so crass.
Yeah. So the diner guy, who we now know is named Lemel Washington, is like, well, I've got pork chops.
I thought your people didn't eat pork chops.
Well, the Quran says not to eat them, not that we can't serve them.
All right.
And he's like, hey, do you know this girl? And shows him the Frank's drawing.
And he's like, oh, I know exactly who that is because it's a very accurate depiction of a girl who used to work here.
Yeah, she worked here. She took off this afternoon. She was like in the middle of her shift. Fuck her.
I like how accurate we are with the quotes of this show.
Yeah. Back in San Francisco, Ed is like, hey, Frank, that
What are you doing, Frank?
you seem to be machining not a replica gun, but a gun.
What are you doing? Why is that not a replica, Frank?
Yeah.
Mind your own business, Ed.
Joe and Juliana drive the truck back into town, and the marshal pulls right out in front of them and starts blasting his shotgun at him.
Man, that truck is getting blasted. Juliana runs off. Alleyways.
Right? Marshall slash bounty hunter dude, Marshall Mathers, aka Eminem.
Yep.
He is off and running. He kicks in a door and fires, and boom, that's the end of the episode.
Yeah. Mm, 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 mm.
Yeah.
And then the beginning of the next episode opens up with her doing karate chops on him or Aikido, whatever, and kills him. And then everyone's free and happy.
Is that your theory?
Yep. Sticking by it.
You don't think she's going to do a Karate Kid crane kick?
Look, I don't know exactly what kind of move she's going to use, but she's going to bring him down with some sort of martial arts.
Maybe she has Mantis style.
Yeah. That's how she grabs the sawed-off shotgun.
She might also know grappling.
Is she like monkeyed her way above the doorway and she's going to jump on him when he walks through?
Maybe she's like an MMA fighter.
So she's going to kick him a lot?
Yeah, maybe she's like Ronda
Punch him?
Rousey.
Ooh, I would watch that.
So yeah, so probably we'll see Ronda Rousey in this, like if not this season, next season.
For sure.
Because mostly this is a show about
Martial
women in
arts.
combat.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the more that I watch this, first of all, I love this show, but I remain concerned that I'm making you every episode. I'm like, am I making Tressa watch a show that's like too dark? Too darky dark for Marky Mark.
Are you concerned about my mental health?
Well, I mean,
no, why would I do that, idiot?
Well, yes,
fine.
because I mean, I know from my own personal experience that I do not watch things that I know or believe will be like too heavy for me at the time.
Yes. I think that it's such a different world of fantasy that I don't get caught up in it too much. Yeah.
Right on.
And when I say fantasy, I don't mean the positive kind.
What do you mean?
You know, like usually when you're like, oh, what a fantasy, you're like, oh, I wish this would happen. That's not what I mean.
Okay. It's like unicorns and stuff.
Yeah. No wizards. Nothing like that.
That you know of.
Is Adolf Hitler a wizard?
I mean, maybe the man in the high castle is a wizard.
This is a paranormal show?
We have an alternate timeline.
That's right.
This is very much a paranormal show.
I can't wait till Bigfoot makes an appearance in the neutral zone. Yeah.
Yeah, Bigfoot just cruising around in a spaceship. Popping by the old neighborhood.
Yep.
Seeing what's what.
Yep.
Portals.
How do you think you get from New York to San Francisco so quickly?
New York City.
That's right, Matt Berry.
There are two ways that you can travel. It's ocean liner and like
portal
and portal.
Thank you. 3.
There are 3 ways. Yeah. So shit's real fucked up in the neutral zone. And that is where America is most America,
Hello.
right?
It's like not more fucked up than the East or West Coast, though, right?
Well, I mean, they're just different kinds of fucked up, right? Like
Right.
you're living under Nazi rule, or you're
Uh-huh.
living under Imperial Japanese rule,
Yep.
or it's this fucking
Lawless.
crazy
Nobody gives a
lawless land in
shit.
the middle. Yeah. Thing, things are real fucked up no matter what you do and where you go.
What if you go to Canada?
I mean, I'm just looking at the map behind us and it looks like it's just as bad there.
Okay, what about Mexico?
It would appear that
It looks like it's pretty neutral.
I don't know. Yeah, it might be pretty neutral still. So, good question.
Thank you.
I mean, in real life, you have all those Nazis that escaped to Brazil and Argentina,
That's
but
right.
if they had won the war, would they have done that?
No, why would they? They went
Well,
there to
they
escape.
maybe. I mean, I think their whole plan was to like control
Re-
everything all over the world anyway. So like they
well,
might have
sure, sure,
already
sure,
had
sure.
outposts, et cetera, et cetera. Dude, have you seen their fucking whole towns in Argentina with literal like it looks like Bavaria, like
Yeah, it's
every
fucking
building there.
wild.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
that's real
have
life
like,
shit.
yeah, they have all
That's
these
not
crazy,
fantasy. That's real life shit.
no unicorns. It's fucking real. They have like whole like German fest all year round. It's fucking nuts, dude. All these blonde hair, blue eyed, gross,
Yeah,
wild.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, what if what if you were a descendant of those Germans?
That would suck.
Right? Like you're the grandchild of some escaped Nazis. Your parents were born in South America. You were born in South America.
That's all you know.
Who are you? What is your identity?
I mean, you gotta imagine they're still Nazis when they're in South America, but I mean, you guys, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know.
Nazis, what are you doing? Fuck.
And that is what brought the entire Nazi regime to a standstill and
Oh,
ultimately to
fuck.
disband. Tressa just straight up asked, Nazis, what the fuck?
Head in hands. Yeah, dude, what the fuck are we doing?
Oh,
What have we done?
yeah.
Guys, what an episode.
Yeah, that's a fucking doozy. I can't wait until the next one. Please join us. That's all the time we have for this one. We are on fire tonight.